Can
for
I say
Hall of
something
Fame.
before we go there? Before we go there, I just want to do some shout outs. Just me
Yes.
shouting out to some of the class. Kudos to just how Canton does things. It's great to see men be sensitive. I mean, women like that, Dom.
Yeah.
It's great,
Mm.
at certain times, not all the time.
Yes. Yes.
But it's great to see men be sensitive, grateful, caring, emotional, all of it. And it's always intriguing and to see their speeches. I really liked. It's too bad it waited for Roger Craig to, it took him so long to get in. 66 years of age, of course, great 49ers running back. I met him years ago. He was such a delight, such a nice man, really a big fan of Roger Craig. And then we found out he has a form of dementia, which he shared during his speech. He couldn't be there in person. But he was so positive. He said, two things could be true. Football helped me with everything. It made me a better person. I had great relationships with people, all of it. And yet, this was a negative, but I'm sharing my story so I could help others so they can go see a doctor if they have symptoms and don't just say it's old age. So I thought that was wonderful that at least he was alive to be able to feel the love, even though it was from far away from Canton. And a couple of other ones, Larry Fitzgerald. I remember they used to have a thing called ESPN The Weekend back in the day in Orlando. And I was looking for the picture and I couldn't find it. I should have asked Dan, Dom, if he had it. But Dan must have been like 10 years old, 11 years old, maybe 10. And he went with me, so did my daughter Sammy, but he went with me and he met Larry Fitzgerald. So Dan's 30 now, so that was 20 years ago. And Larry Fitzgerald couldn't have been nicer to Dan, took a picture with him, and I'll always remember that. And Larry Fitzgerald, I didn't have the video, but he was asked a question by a reporter, which I found great. And he gave a real honest answer. The question was, would you have rather have a Super Bowl ring or a Hall of Fame jacket? And he paused because, he never won a Super Bowl. Like
Right.
the question was, if you would you trade in that Hall of Fame jacket for a Super Bowl ring? And he paused and he's like, well, I don't have a Super Bowl ring. So the answer is no. I think for me, the Hall of Fame jacket is worth more than a Super Bowl ring. And you could make that case, even though it's easy to say because he didn't get one. But I get that because it shows consistency in your career over so many years of being great, as opposed to winning a Super Bowl ring where maybe you didn't play a part, perhaps. He could have won a Super Bowl. He'd been to one. He could have maybe only had 2 catches, for 14 yards. You just never know. And he'd have his ring. But would that have meant more than a jacket? What do you think of that, Dom, before we go into the next class? That
Yeah,
interesting?
it's always nice to be called a Super Bowl champion, but
Yeah.
if you're a wide receiver like Larry Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
the ball is literally out of your hands for the most part of the time.
Yeah.
You are at the behest of how skilled your quarterback is.
Right.
And it's not like Larry Fitzgerald had a career full of Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He had Kurt
Yeah,
Warner.
Kurt Warner, right? Didn't he have
Yeah,
Kurt Warner?
Carson Palmer too, right? And Carson Palmer
Yeah.
was really
Well,
good as
he's not a
well,
but yeah.
not a Hall
Yeah.
of Famer, but a
No.
very good quarterback. But yeah, it's so I think for Larry to say that too, and he's such a selfless kind of individual.
Yes.
Like, and so I understand it too. I understand it, and I'm kind of with them on that, especially if you're wide receiver more so than not.
Yeah. Yeah.